So, you know, I'm on top of that.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
You sure? Hold on, let's see. Let me check again.
Yeah, it just says you're on live, but I haven't received any notifications that you're streaming.
Okay, all right, good. So I just checked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so.
It's like that so many people was asking like how the hell my brain is like so thin. It's freaking weird. I like it though.
I like your thin dress. You just
Yeah.
have to be careful not to overwork any single dreads because that's how that you get breakage.
Yeah.
So when you twirl it, you gotta do, you know, don't focus in on just the short one.
Uh, oh,
Yeah. All right. So
uh,
you said you have this question you wanted to ask or something.
um, yeah. I put it this right. I was going to school the other day,
You
and
were what?
I was going to school the other day,
Uh-huh.
and then I don't know what the fuck popped into my head, and I just like started laughing, and I started laughing because like how how do the average guy react when like dudes when his girls be receiving dick pics on his you know on his fucking whatchamacallit.
In her DMs, it's probably a lot more territorial than you are, you know, lazy ass. Because you're just like unemotional in that. I kind of don't like it, to be honest. I like when you get like, you know, a little jealous. Well, not jealous. It's not jealousy. It's territoriality. You know.
Yeah.
Only I can send my girl some dick pics. God damn it. So,
You
I don't
know,
think I really had that response out of you. I don't know.
you know what? Put it this way, right? It's like
I know what it is. You already told me plenty of times what it is.
in a
Doesn't mean I take it.
in a sick, weird, twisted way. It's kind of like this, right? If motherfuckers sending my girls dick pics, it's like it's somewhat it's like a chip on my shoulder. Be like, yeah, damn, these motherfuckers want to fuck my chick.
She's still attractive enough that other men want her.
Yeah, exactly, right. So it's and also not just that though, right? There's also this competition.
Yeah.
This competition, this underlying like kind of wolf territorial type that kind of like
Territoriality. It kind of
yeah
triggers.
that triggers that territoriality, and I kind of like that feeling,
Mhm.
you know. And I
Okay.
have a weird way of expressing it, but because it's not insecurity, right? It's not insecurity, but it's like that territoriality. Be like, oh, somebody trying to fuck my girl.
Of course, it's not insecurity because if it was insecurity, you'd be all up in my face talking about how dare I, you know,
You know,
I gotta do something to stop these men from doing that shit. But you know, I
but
just
but listen though, it's like okay, because it works like that for me because we know each other so well, right? And like I know your reaction and you know my reaction. So then it's like we can always kind of predict certain patterns when it comes to like other people try to, you know, stick their nose in or try to actually come in between us in a sense.
okay. Say that again.
Huh?
Can you repeat that?
All right, okay. What I mean by this, right? So, like for example, um, women are more are more emotional based. So therefore their attraction gets built um over like a linguistic patterns, right? For example, if the guy's funny, if
Well, you know, I can't speak for other women, but you know very well that unless a man can stimulate my mind, he's got no chance with me anyway.
I know, but that's the thing though. It's like because you have like you have certain women that are shallow, right? So materialistic wise and all that shit. So they're easily impressed by if somebody come into their DM and it's all about, okay, is he making more money than my man, or is he, you know, have a six pack, or is he doing this? Like, it's all based on the physical, because a lot of people are materialistic. And also there has to be this mind stimulation as well. Just like when girls come into my DM. So then therefore you kind of know, as a female, you know what kind of patterns or behavior to look out for. You'd be like, all right, this bitch is shifty, you know, all right, keep an eye on her, babe, type of shit.
Yeah.
You know, so therefore I can assess within a few seconds which guys that are deemed a worthy opponent. You know, it's like, okay, if you laughing at his meme, I'm like, I'm gonna keep an eye on this motherfucker.
Really? Okay. Let me ask you now, because is that really what it takes? Is like, if I'm laughing in a comment section at some guy's post, all of a sudden you're going to keep an eye on him? Or if I say something and send a wink emoji, does that trigger automatic territorial response?
Well, it's like, it all depends on the level of flirtiness.
Well, exactly, right? It depends really on context of the conversation.
Well, not just that, okay, right? For example, like, a lot of men are very intimidated by you because it's hard to keep up with you when it comes to certain conversation.
Yeah, aren't you lucky?
So it takes, okay, you're not easily influenced by bullshit. You're not easily you're not that easily impressed. You know? So,
well, you know, the pickup lines that work on other girls will work on me.
So the thing, so that's the thing though. It's like, you are not starved for my stimulation.
Not at all.
You know, you're not starved for that, and that's the key component.
Well.
And that's the key component that turns you on.
Yeah.
So then, therefore, if you cannot have a conversation to which, like, the man, you can actually learn something from the guy, it's a lot harder if you the one that's like, if you are the guru, if you are placed in the guru position, that it's harder for you to actually feel like he's a worthy opponent type of shit.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, what I mean by this is like, how can I? I'm trying to formulate it in my head as I'm actually talking about it too, because it's like this.
Like, if I become seen as a mentor,
yeah,
right, then I will not. I will set the boundary to non-sexual interaction, fully non-sexual interaction. That part is true. I don't even see them as like, it's not that I don't see them as men. It's, I don't see them as, you know, anything sexual at all.
Yeah.
Because it's not, it's just, especially if I'm in a mentor position where I'm not just discussing intellectual stuff, but the person actually comes to me for advice. You know?
The funny thing about it though is, like, when the roles reverse, and then there's like,
but I don't go to any man for advice.
Exactly. And but this is the thing, right? It's like, you and I we both have very addictive personality. So what I mean,
well, I don't think we have addictive personalities. I think people are easily addicted to our personality.
That's what I mean by that. So it's like this, because the way our mind works, the way our interaction works, right? And it's easy for people to actually want to have that energy around them. So then therefore, when it's taken away from them, or when they like try to when it's taken away from them, there's this thing that's missing, which is it's harder for me to actually have female friends, because I know that there's always this mentor,
They'll,
like
yeah, they'll come to you for advice,
yeah,
and then
they will start
like,
off as yeah, exactly. It will start off as like they will come to me for advice and all that shit, right? And then once you start playing that, you know, daddy role, I wouldn't want to say daddy role, but when you start,
role, yeah.
yeah, when you start playing that mentorship role, and women have a fat infatuation with that position, which
Mm-hmm.
I hate
Kind of
that.
Freudian almost. It's Freudian.
Yeah, which I fucking hate that shit, right? Because it's like, why can't it just be like just a chick that can just you could just talk to, right? It's never that way because there's this influence, whereas like they always want more, you know. And with guys, it's more like it's
When a man approaches you, he already knows um what agenda he's approaching you. If it's a sexual agenda, he's going to approach you, and if he knows there is a limit, he'll and he can't get past it, he'll just walk away.
exactly so because if he's there for just like a sexual advances, then if he's not gonna keep wasting his time like 2-3 weeks later down the line, you know.
Exactly.
So, but for female, it's like they're a lot more cunning.
Well, because most females don't come at you with the intention for sexual advances. Most females come to you with the intention of pay attention to me.
Yeah. uh, but now I got a question for you though. Like, how do you deal with dick pics on your DM?
How do I deal with them? When I get, I first go to the dude's page and I block him, and then I go back to the picture to the DM, and then I delete it.
Yeah. How often do you get them?
It's you know what's weird? This is a recent phenomenon. When I used to hear women, okay, on social, well, not here, but when I used to read like tweets, especially of women like, "Stop sending me dick pics," in my mind, it's just like, men don't just pop off into your DMs with like a random just dick pic. So when you open it, bam, there it is, right?
Yep.
Men don't do that. That was my belief. I used to believe that there needed to be some kind of context. Like you must have given him off some energy, or you must have started a conversation. It makes no sense why a man would just pop off a dick pic without saying hi to you first. Until I started having all these friend requests on Facebook at one point, a couple months ago. You were actually here.
Yeah, I remember.
Happening. So you saw it occur as it was happening, right? So I was like, well, fuck it. I don't even know where they came from, okay? I was like, fuck it. Let me start friending them because, I barely have any friends on Facebook anyway, and nobody fucking, pays attention to what you post. So I started accepting their friend requests, and then all of a sudden I started getting random stuff in my DM. And it was just like, hi, beautiful, how you doing? Hey, sexy, you wanna touch my dick? Can I finger you? And then like more, and so many of them would just start popping up. Like literally, I would just like open up your message and bam, there is a dick. Do you know there was one guy that befriended me, sent me a dick pic, and then blocked me? I have a feeling these men aren't even looking for a response. They just get off by sending these pictures. Like just the actual act of sending them gets them off. That's my assumption.
So, but check this out though, right? So it's like this. There's a balance, right? There are dudes out there that's gonna send dick pics and all that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's also certain female that can invite that type of attention.
Yes.
So now,
and I when I read the posts by females, I know which one's invited.
So now the question is like, where do you think you fit in that scale? How much inviting do you think you do, and how much just random?
I will admit that I do a little bit of innocent flirting, like innuendos. I'm good at innuendos. I do innuendos a lot.
True.
Well, not a lot, but I do innuendos where it can be interpreted as it can be interpreted as me flirting.
Yeah.
But I always set the boundaries, like, I let them know that I'm married and, there is only certain behavior that I will tolerate. Yep.
Yeah, okay, keep talking.
All right, that there is certain behavior that I will tolerate and you cannot make me cross those boundaries. And if you do try to make me cross those boundaries, then I'm going to instantly block you. I don't even say it. It just, I let them know about the boundaries. And then they'll start, like, there's this guy that accepted his friend request, and it was a guy from my old school.
Yep.
So I know the guy. I used to go to school with him, and he started asking me questions like, "Do you wear a thong?" And I'm like, "I don't think that's appropriate."
Yep.
And then he'd be like, "Oh, I would buy your used underwear." So I was like, "Dude, one more time you say some shit like that, and I'm just gonna have to block you, right?" So this motherfucker sends me a dick pic. So what do? Block him and delete his message. I don't tolerate, I set boundaries. You cross those boundaries, okay. I'm not going to tolerate your behavior. And I sure as fuck aren't gonna keep that shit, littering my inbox.
All right. I got a question for you though.
Mm-hmm.
On a scale of 1 to 10, right? How much of your ego did that actually boost?
Dick pics don't boost my ego.
Be real though. Be fucking real.
Okay, well, let me speak. Dick pics do not boost my ego, but the "hey beautiful, how are you?" that doesn't give a ego boost, But when you're going with some, the biggest ego boost is when that guy's actually interested in a conversation with me.
Yeah.
The problem arises when any subject that is sexual in nature comes up.
Yeah.
I used to entertain it for a little while, because I like to flirt. I like to flirt.
As we do. We all do.
Exactly, because it is as long as it's an innocent flirt, it does boost an ego, especially if you're feeling down. So I used to entertain it a little bit, with my innuendos, But then I find that the men have a hard time bringing it back.
Mm.
As soon as you invite any sexual conversation, even if it's just an innuendo, right? A simple innuendo, like a guy would say, I have a quick wit. Well, good. You have a good, you have a solid head on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Slipping in, a good debate, very stimulating. These words, it's funny because it's simple words. If somebody reads it, it's not really sexual in nature, but it can be interpreted as sexual in nature. And as soon as you do, the men is like, okay, well, send me some nudes. Or what kind of positions do you like?
Mm-hmm.
Or, what's the thing you really love to do? What's the biggest turn on? And it's just like, okay, if I tell you these things, will you be able to bring it back to a regular conversation? Because most men can't.
See, the thing about it, though, right, is this. Because you are a wordsmith.
I am a what?
A wordsmith.
Oh, yes. So, I'm playing with words.
No.
You see what I mean? You see?
All right. So you are a wordsmith, and even sometimes, like, let's say that we're having a little flirt online and all that shit. So
who, you and me, or you and I with separate people?
You and me, or you and I with separate people.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like it's fun, but there's this. How should I put it right? It's very hard for people to actually have a conversation with the opposite sex without actually taking it into a sexual nature, or being able to, even if they take it to a sexual nature, to be able to bring it back and forth. I don't know, maybe some Western thing. I fell in
love with you.
Huh?
Why do you think I fell in love with you? One of the main reasons is because you can.
Yeah. And like,
now, ladies, I am a Taurus. I'm very fucking territorial. Don't be popping up to my husband's goddamn DMs trying to see how well he switches back and forth. All right. Just sorry. Just had to let that warning.
And you motherfuckers out there, yo, no dick pics on my girl's DM. Fuck off.
Yeah, please keep that wordy shit in your pants, man. Don't nobody want to see nasty things.
Yeah. So the thing is like when, like I said before, when people come across someone that is like very flexible, you know, quick with it, and that actually can have a conversation that doesn't have to go through like a path that it's hard to pull back. So then they want to be around that person. They're curious. There's this curiosity that's developed, and they want to have more and more. That intriguement can actually like. That's why. Okay, like for example, we had this friend, this Facebook friend, right? The one that, okay, the one that you recently had to you know, tell her off for me.
Maggie.
Yeah, don't say her name. Motherfucker, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, this bitch. So
I just said the name. I wasn't very specific about which one, but yeah, Maggie.
Yeah. So it's like it started off as in someone that's just, you know, a regular friend. And then there's this
But I always had my suspicions about her though.
Yeah, I know. You know, and to me it's like it's hard to be friends with girls, right? Whether it's social media or in real life.
Because even if it starts off innocent, it tends to turn into something else.
Yeah.
Not necessarily on your part. But that's because you're a nice guy and a friendly person. And nowadays, being friendly and kind tends to be taken as, oh, he wants to fuck me.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, to be honest, right? Like to be like I am a nice person, but at the same time, I am very charming.
Well, yeah, that's what it is.
So therefore, it's like my flirtiness is like I know when I'm being a little bit of a flirt.
You
know, but
just like when I'm being a bit of a flirt.
It's like you know when you're being a bit of a flirt. But the thing about it though is like when you try to take that back, they just want you to continue with that momentum. As in like, okay, so if you flirted with me today, I expect that all the fucking time. And therefore it's like
because they read into it more than just the innocent.
They read into it more than to just like an innocent of like, you know, me being goofy and say, you know, that's what she said. Or you know.
Well, I mean, I don't ever think that is ever considered a flirt. I'm sorry, but I don't think that's ever considered a flirt.
Yeah, but the thing about it though, especially with females, like once you actually have the ability to make them laugh, right? To giggle that little spot of theirs. And then that's where
the only women that will get turned on by someone who makes them laugh are women who are depressed.
Most of them are. What the fuck you think they're popping prescription pills all the time?
Yeah, that's true. People are depressed.
Most people, a lot of people in the Western world can't stand their lives. Wake up, wake up, go to work, 9 to 5.
You find really sad. People love to see others' relationships fall apart on social media, but as soon as you start saying how happy you are being married and, you know, what a good relationship you have, they go on a fucking rampage dissing the shit out of it. Like, don't nobody want to hear that stuff.
Well, it's, you know, envy.
Yeah.
You know, it's envy because it's like, all right, put it this way, right? It's easier to say that there's no good men out there or there's no good women out there than to actually
say y'all done fucked up, choose the wrong person.
Yeah, than to actually say that, well, yeah.
It's not even necessarily choosing the wrong person as much as it is not sticking by them. Because we're wrong and fucked up at some point in our life.
Listen, every relationship starts on bullshit. Every relationship starts on a lie. Right? It's like, okay, your ass ain't that fat. You're not that tall. Take them fucking heels off. You wear all that makeup and all that stuff. You don't wake up. It's like you don't wake up in the morning looking like a 10. You know, as soon as you woke up. That's like it's all there's this level of superficial. But
because you know that first attraction.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem that people have is that once you actually peel those layers of superficial out of it, then the person try to reveal her roots or his root system, then you don't want to accept it. You just want to fall in love with the flower, but not the roots.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like it's a huge problem. And then now you just want to like continue pointing fingers, like, okay, well,
are you really surprised that's how people relate their partners, if that's the same way they treat like their phone, where their phone will, they'll only have their phone for like 2 years and automatically they want a new one because the new one looks better.
Well, not just the new one looks better, the memory is full. Because it's not just about the looks, right? It's also about like, in order for you to actually grow in a relationship, or in order for you to continue in a relationship, you have to actually have growth, because nobody stays the same all the fucking time.
That would be weird.
It would be weird, but the thing is, like, okay, the joke that you used to laugh when we first got together, you don't.
Yeah, I don't laugh at that's what she said. It's so fucking annoying.
I still fucking say it though. I don't care. I'm gonna be on my grave.
I guess I say it first just to kill your punchline.
I'm gonna be like, on my casket, right? And then, you crying over me and stuff like that. Be like, oh my God, it's so hard. I'll just open my eyes and say, that's what she said.
Are you kidding me? I'd be looking over your dead body and say, baby, that embalming fluid made you stiff.
And I'll still get up and be like, that's what she said.
So that's how, now I know how to resurrect your ass for another 5 years of misery.
Oh, you resurrect me all the time, baby.
Oh, this is sweet. No.
Nah. But so the thing is this, right? Okay. The reason why a lot of relationships don't work out, right, is because we only allow the person that we're with to see a certain aspect of us, a certain part of us.
Mm-hmm.
And as that person's cutting off the layers, peeling away those layers, because every month or every year, you're learning something new about that person.
Yep.
And the more your partner is learning something new about you, that means that the old facade that you used to present, or the old bullshit, now has to come off as well. And you don't want to, and when those bullshit comes off, then you feel vulnerable. And a lot of people don't want to see past that vulnerability, because at some point in their lives, they exposed that vulnerability and they got hurt.
Yeah.
That's why you have a lot of these guys, right? They always talk about the one that got away. The one that got away. But what they don't realize that, okay, she got away, right?
Did she really get away? No. Did she get away, or did they leave her?
Well, either they leave her, or maybe she wasn't the little angel that they thought that she was. And
well, yeah, because your mind, in retrospect, tends to make it makes them better than they actually were.
Yeah. So forever, they regarded that woman as the pinnacle of what every other woman should follow. But like, the image of that woman never changes. But what they don't realize, had they stayed with that woman, they would have realized all her flaws as well. So then she would have been perfect, but that's what you would love about her. The fact that she
was too damn loud.
Exactly, dude. Look at my big ass teeth.
Or
scratching my feet. At least tore
she farts like a thunderstorm.
Exactly. Tore my hair, leaving all them fucking little swirlies on the toe.
Oh yeah, I'm still finding them everywhere.
It's those little quirks, these little annoying little crap about your partner that actually you missed about them.
Yeah.
And too many people want to live in that fairy tale, that happily ever after type
That's not real.
That is not real. It's so Disney-like.
The fantasy, like I said, with the whole woman that's fully 100% submissive.
Yeah.
It's a fairy tale. It's not real. She can't be, because if she is, her psyche is broken and she has no personality of her own. That's not a human. That's a shell.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, once you actually get what you thought you want, you don't want it. You still go back to the same crap. Oh, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So yeah, dick pics in my girl's inbox.
Yeah, how do you feel when I talk about like flirting with people online and shit?
How do I feel?
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, it kind of gives me that little bit of. It feels like competition, right? It feels like competition, and I kind of miss competing.
I mean, if you want, I could totally bring on the competition. I got no problem with that, but you might.
No, like what I mean by this, right? Okay, it's like everything has to be balanced. You
Yeah.
know, I don't want to find out all the fucking time that you be flirting with a whole bunch of motherfuckers. You know,
Yeah.
it will get to the point that my ego would actually get riled up to the point that where now I'm gonna do shit to make
Like
you jealous.
when you was flirting with a whole bunch of, when you used to get women's numbers,
Yeah,
still,
exactly.
if you can, which to
Yeah.
me was just absolutely ridiculous. You're just tempting fate.
Well, yeah. So that's my point though. So it's like because we're all a product of our environment, right?
Yeah.
So I know certain path will lead down to somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like I see flirting as this, right? It's like going to McDonald's and then instead of like ordering a whole meal or whole meal, you just be like, you know what? Let me taste this fry real quick to see if it's still cold. They give you a piece of fry, and then, or better yet, right? Better yet, this is the thing: you ask for a cup of water, they give you a cup, and then you go to the water fountain and you take juice. That's what flirting is to me. So it's like, so now the restaurant might let you get away with it. Be like, I'm all right. But let's say that you go back to the kitchen, you start taking your burgers, you start robbing the place, shit like that. Yeah, they'll call the cops. So it's the same thing. It's like I don't mind you flirting, but I like to see the pattern and where it's gonna lead, and then therefore I could be like, all right, look out for this dude. The same way you give me warning about women, you know?
Yeah, like that chick on
Yeah,
Instagram
exactly. Like, okay, this girl's a little too friendly.
that
Just
keeps
watch out for her.
commenting in your posts all the time.
Exactly. If you see a chick that's like always liking my shit, then you're like,
Well, that stuff isn't necessarily it's something that says, okay, pay attention to that name. It might mean something.
yeah, exactly. So
Um,
that's where you go like, I think she might want the D.
well, no, I don't even think of it that way. It's when I start seeing a name that likes your stuff all the time, it doesn't trigger anything. If
Mhm.
I start seeing her leaving comments all the time, it's like, okay, what's going on? Have they been chatting? So
Yep.
then, that's when you let me know about the inbox, and that's that chick on your Instagram.
hmm
Well, yep, been chatting. So I'm like, okay, let me see your let me read let me read the conversation so I can kind of get the gist of what's going on.
Yep.
And then it's through that conversation I'm like, all right, you gotta be careful. She's trying to get you to sex with the chick.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's my limit. I don't tolerate the whole sexting thing.
Sexting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You know what?
beyond.
Like, I used to think that okay, my narcissist, right? When it comes to flirting with women, like the way I used to see it and the way I see it now, it's kind of like this. The fact that I know that I am a charming person, like I see it like revenge porn for me in a sense. What I mean by this is kind of like all the chicks I know that when I was in high school or whatever that they used to be the type of chick that would actually blow me off, right? And then now I'm in a position to which now I can say no to them. And then
Mm-hmm.
therefore like maintaining my charming personality. And then now when they're expecting me to go further than what I'm actually willing to give, then I'll walk away.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I told you about this girl at um when I was at work in that subway, right?
So yeah, that what was she? African, right?
Yeah. So
Somewhere from.
Yeah, so it's like, we all chatting, right? My boy's flirting, I'm having a normal conversation, and then so maybe I was flirty too, but I was actually charming. But like,
I love it. I love you. Like, well, if this is gonna be held against me in court, let me make sure I cover all bases. Maybe.
no. Actually, this is the thing, right? This is the thing, right? My persona with women, is like, when I come across women, I treat them as they are my subordinate, right? I'm not an asshole, but the fact that I'm their subordinate, so they try really hard to please me. So then,
No,
therefore,
you're subordinate.
yeah. So therefore, like they try really hard to please me, just so they can hear like, "Oh, thanks, I really appreciate it,"
Hmm.
right? So then, in that kind of sense,
So you've got the supervisory position.
yes,
Alert.
yes, exactly. And it's like I'm on. It's like an automatic reaction. I'm like that with all women I come across, whether she's old or whether she's young, whether she's hot or whether she's not. So, but I always maintain that facade as in like I am gonna get what I want, but I'm not gonna be an asshole about it, and you will give it to me, you
Hmm.
know.
You know
And
how that sounds right there?
very narcissistic.
No, fuck the narcissism. It's the sex that comes out of it that I ain't gonna tolerate.
Well, yeah.
'Cause,
So
just you might like that supervisory role and everything, and you're like that with all women now. But I've always been very authoritative.
yeah, I know, but the thing about it though, right? And I guess that's why I guess you and I click because you're stubborn as fuck, and then you like the ultimate challenge. You're like, how the fuck can I get this bitch to do what I want her to do?
Yes, I'm very stubborn,
Yeah.
but not you're sidetracking. So what did you mean about you know what you want, you know how to get it, and these bitches are gonna give it to you?
Yeah, what I mean by this, right? Before, I used to use that power for evil. It's like, okay, I'm gonna use it so I can get some ass,
Mm-hmm.
right? But now it's like I use it as a way to, if let's say I need some paperwork done, right? Or I need this bitch to bring me some napkins while I'm in a restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
or I have like some question that has to do with what I'm trying to accomplish. Like for example, when I was at the not the city hall, at the Chamber of Commerce, right? I need some information.
Commerce or Secretary of State?
Well, Secretary of the State as well as the Chamber of Commerce.
Mhm.
When I was asking those questions and all that stuff, right? So therefore,
We're doing what women do with cops.
yes, exactly. Exactly. It's like, okay, for the first time, listen, right? For the first time in my life, I can actually be a charming motherfucker, right? Get my way and not actually having to screw these women. Because I see this way, like messing
Do
around
you
with these
think
women.
what that sounds like? Okay, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you,
Yeah,
and I have to bring this back full circle. So
yeah,
I think first podcast where we were when I was saying how much pussy controls a man. Look what you just said. What you just said is basically you're screwing your way to the top,
yeah.
right? That's what men are doing. The men are screwing their way to the top, which means you are admitting that the woman is on top and
No,
in
but
control. So now you're saying you no longer have to do that because the flirt is the reward, not the dick.
yes. No. But listen, no, I see now you're twisting that shit all around.
No,
Just
not at all. I understand where you're
okay.
coming from. I'm not twisting what you said at all. I'm just pointing
Mhm.
out the effect it has and how it works with how women do the same damn thing.
I know, but this is the satisfaction, right? The satisfaction is this, right? It's like
The
I
same
love,
satisfaction that a woman gets by telling a man who just perked up her, self esteem by saying, "Oh yeah, I would love to you." Yeah, that's nice.
but this is the satisfaction I get, right? The satisfaction is this. There's a lot of thirsty women out there, right?
Yeah.
And to me, it's not about how much pussy I can get, but it's about how much pussy I can turn down. I can say no to.
Yeah. Well, why would you want to be putting yourself in a position to constantly have to say no to pussy though?
No, I know that, but the thing about it is like, listen, I know it's a dance, right? When it comes to it's a pattern from getting the girl's number to talking to her and then actually to Netflix and chill. There's always that step, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and women's imagination are very vivid. You know, they know how to play the game and they can be very slick about it. So then, therefore, they're not gonna come out you outright and actually, you know, um, they would hint at it that they want you to get their number or they want to keep in touch with you and all that stuff, right? But
Body language usually.
yeah, but because of the fear of rejection, they're not gonna come outright saying it. So they still gonna leave the step to me.
Yeah.
That's when I don't take the bait. So they will put the bait out there and then I will not take the bait. And if they actually even make it so plain and obvious to be like, well, how about we actually keep in touch? And I'm like, I appreciate it, but I don't get girl. I don't, I don't take girls' numbers out, right?
What if a girl said, "Well, let's go behind the building then"?
I said, no, I'm good. So I like that's the thing though. Like, I
Oh, I don't even have to think about it now.
I don't have to think about it.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, let's face it, right? Because in order for before for that to happen, then you would actually have to give her the impression that it's okay for her to even suggest that, okay, let's go behind the building. I'm gonna suck you off.
Well,
Right?
that's the thing. It's like the boundaries. You have to
Mhm.
set boundaries, and you have to be the
Yeah.
one to buy them, not everybody else.
So exactly. So the boundaries that I set up is more like to let her know that it's gonna be nothing more but an innocent flirt, if
Yeah.
at best. You know?
Oh my God, that's interesting. You bring that up because the other day I just said the same exact thing to the guy.
You
Because
know?
he's like, well, why are you flirting with me? Well, because it's not illegal. But
Yeah.
if I'm stepping over a boundary, then my apologies. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I apologize for the innocent flirt. And he's like, well, how is it innocent? Didn't you do it on purpose? It's like, yeah, but I'm in a partnership right now, so
Yeah.
you can't get anything else but a simple flirtation, which is what makes it innocent.
Exactly. That's the thing. So it's like and that is that control, right?
Yeah.
In a
But see,
way.
this is the thing that I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you again.
Go
Thing that a lot of people in a relationship feel they cannot do anymore. So that's what makes them feel like they're being stifled. But it's not that you can't do it, it's can you control yourself to keep it at just that?
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys will be like, well, I'm just testing my limits, but you don't have any limits, so you fall into the trap.
Mhm.
You
Well,
know?
there's two things, right? There's can you control yourself, and that's discipline, right? And also,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a strong bond enough with your partners to which that you can actually even talk to your partner about this shit, like
Yeah.
we're doing right now. Motherfucker, you talking about like you flirting online.
Yeah, I know.
Just like I'm telling you about flirting online too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
You're
like,
not flirting in person.
well,
That's
yeah,
even. I can't fuck nobody online, but you can easily fuck the clerk at the goddamn, you know,
yeah,
Secretary of Office.
yeah, I know that, and that's the thing though. With great power comes great responsibilities.
Amen.
So just because I can do something doesn't mean I will. And it's all about knowing that I can.
And
And
that's what ends up, that's what ends up freeing you from the cage that you feel you are in as a married person. You're in a cage, but that cage isn't necessarily set by your partner as much as it is set by yourself because you're afraid of what you can or cannot do. But when you start limiting yourself, setting the boundaries yourself and sticking to those boundaries, then you will feel free.
yeah, like I was saying the other day, right? Okay, look, um, environment plays a big role on how much control can you have on your own desires.
Mm-hmm.
When you mentioned earlier about Tiny and
Ti.
Ti, right? And one of the things that you said was, well, Ti and Tiny, they were doing the whole threesome stuff, and then he ended up like continued to cheat on her and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Which is a valid point, which is very valid point, and the lack of control of Ti always had that.
Yeah.
Control.
You never learned how to control it. Yeah.
Never learn how to control it. And also that mindset. You know, T.I. started off with talking about money, hoes, and clothes, just like everybody else. And whatever you practice, whatever you spoke out of existence, that's what you're gonna follow. That's the pattern you're gonna follow. Right?
Yeah.
So then that environment of the whole entertainment industry is the same thing as the porn and all that stuff, right? Because as a famous person, you're gonna have women throw themselves at you constantly.
Yeah. Well, that's why I would never get with someone that's trying to be famous, because it makes no sense.
Exactly.
Because a person like that cannot be tied down.
Yeah, and that's it's like, you know, Cardi B and Offset. You know, can Cardi B really be mad at Offset?
And Offset used to have threesomes, and that's where the strippers came in. Okay.
Exactly.
And
So,
jealous because you are having the same sex with the same women outside of your marital bed.
so it's gonna be,
That's an issue that a lot of women have.
yeah. But the thing about it though is like it's gonna be very hard for a person to actually remain in that type of industry and actually still have do the whole monogamy thing. That shit
Well, when you've got, you've got your handlers throwing these women in you.
exactly. So that's my point. It's like this, right? Okay, so like in order for some of these things to work, right? You have to take into consideration the environment. Like one of the reasons you were upset with me is because, well, you know, first I mentioned the whole um parlor, a parlor, yeah, the whole massage parlor thing,
Yeah.
right? And then as well as you or you know us going to Amsterdam or
well, what happens between a married couple stays between a married couple. Don't the
yeah.
whole don't need to fucking know all this shit,
Yeah, yeah, I know, but my point is this, right? Okay, well, the point I was trying to prove is that okay, so if I'm in an environment to which that my whole purpose is to make money within that environment, so then therefore that I kind of remove the temptation or actually put barriers so I don't get into those temptations, so I don't feel the need to having to sneak behind your back and do certain shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we actually now together, and then we can actually we create the environment to which we actually want to experience that shit. So then we can do that, you know. So that actually is like a bigger goal for me, or for us to actually something to look forward to when we taking trips to do some of these shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think like, you know, that's all that play into a factor into, you know, you set up your own limitation on yourself and you have all those boundaries. So to which now, like, I know I'm never gonna work in a porn industry. You know, no matter how freaking, you know, hardcore I think I am right now, seeing, you know, having like all that sex around you all the freaking time, yeah, no doubt. So therefore I place myself in industry to which now I don't have to put myself in those positions. You understand?
Oh, yeah, but you're going into an industry that most women would say is quite risky itself because you're always on the road. You
Yeah,
can easily have, relations with a woman without anybody finding out because fuck her in another state.
that's true. All that is possible. But now the thing is, do I want to? You know? And,
The answer for most men would be yeah.
well, yeah, but I'm not most men. Because why should I entertain myself with lot lizard than when I can just actually do something better than that? And I'm not even talking about sex, period. I'm talking about like my satisfaction now comes from setting my my goal and accomplishing it. That's my frontier now. My frontier is not the next vagina. Is the next is the next accomplishment.
Yeah, why?
It's like
Why
it's
is vagina no longer a motivating factor for you like it is for most men?
because it's still like accomplishing something different, accomplishing your goal still brings about the same dopamine for me.
Okay, well, most men will say, but accomplishing all those goals will bring you more vagina.
Well, if your goal at the end of the day is getting more vagina, you know? But that's not my goal at the end of the day. My goal at the end of the day is build a legacy. And I know try to build a legacy, the first thing that will bring it down is vagina. You understand? So then if I know that vagina is my Achilles heel, right? And which,
Achilles heel.
yeah, just like most black men always being taken down by a vagina. So
Yeah.
then I have my ancestors as an example to what I should not do. You know?
Yeah.
Because that's not logical. Look at Cosby. This dude is like a multi-million-dollar industry, right? Empire being crumbled by some chick he used to mess around with 20, 30 years ago.
He had a legacy that went down. Now his only legacy is being known as,
you know,
the rapist.
The rapist, exactly.
I mean, people say don't get Cosby, man. That's he became a slogan of what not to do. That's his legacy now.
I know. I mean, look at all these rappers, all these celebrities. All their money's going down because they got the wrong chick pregnant or they mess around with the wrong chick.
Yeah.
You know, and these are the lessons that a lot of guys, they don't understand that. So what is better, right?
Maybe they do understand, which is why they travel abroad.
Yeah. But the thing about it was like, I want to have somebody's fun with my girl, you know, with you, with your ass. I want to be able to have somebody's fun with you, you know. So why should I just?
What if I'm not down for that kind of shit?
Yeah, but it's all about a level of understanding and seeing past through this shit. Because a lot of women are not going to be down for certain things. You know, everybody has a certain limitation, right? So then, how do you make somebody see the light or see your perspective and actually willing to meet you halfway?
Being in a threesome and seeing the
light. No, it's like, okay, right? Put it this way, right? Like, as an artist, right? I'm very visual. I'm a very visual person. So then, like, there's always this open-mindedness that that frontier. I always want that curiosity. I always want to satisfy, right? And therefore, the reason you and I fell in love is because
you fuck yourself out of that curiosity. I think that's something that men don't understand.
No, but listen.
Out of curiosity, because you would have to fuck 5 billion people.
No, I'm not. My curiosity just doesn't stop with just. My curiosity doesn't stop with sex, right?
Oh, it gets worse.
No, right? Listen. All right. I don't want to lose my train of thought, right? So,
I'm listening.
Okay. So that curiosity is based on, like, not how much you could push the envelope, because I'm not trying to push the envelope. I don't have nothing to prove to me, to other people, right? Certain things I'm curious about, and certain things that I want to experience, but with the person that I love, right? Think about how many shit that we did together for the first time. And that's the thing. There's like, it's not the thing, it's the person that you share that experience with. That to me, that's the journey that's worth it.
I feel like I'm being sold a bag of goods, man.
Listen, you already bought that bag of good and all that shit. But I'm speaking from like in a sense that other people can actually understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because like to some dude, like a threesome, just a threesome is like the best thing in the world. Doesn't matter how they get it, that shit, as long as they get it.
Most dudes nowadays already had it, so it's not even that special.
Yeah, most dudes already had it, so it's not even that special. But the thing about it though is like they might still have all that shit, but they still that discipline.
Yeah.
Right? So and to me, it's not about having the threesome. It's about like, having it with you.
You are selling me a bag.
Oh, listen to
I'm
me.
listening. I am listening to you.
And that's the beauty of it, though, because like that, the biggest chip on my shoulder, be like, yo, dude, my girl, like she does this for me, she does that for me too. It's like it's
So is it for the bragging rights?
not just bragging right, a little bit of bragging right, but also no, listen, a little bit of a bragging right, but also is the memory. The memory, like, dude, it's like some of the shit that we did in the past, we still talk about it sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, be like, oh yeah, I remember that time. Oh yeah, good time, good time. You know? Yes. Versus, like, put it this way, right? Let's say that if you and I didn't work out, right? If
Yeah.
you and I didn't work out, and then I got me some random chick, I wouldn't be able to talk to her about the type of fun that we used to have.
I mean, sure you can.
Nah. I would be just like this motherfucker that I'd be talking about, the one that got away. You would be the one that got away. You know?
Oh, I'm that special to you, baby.
You.
Duh. I love you guys.
That's my point, though. Is like, I never wanted you to be that, that girl that got away.
Yeah.
So that's why I had a choice to make, right? So
yeah, you were considering it at some point.
Yeah, of course, every guy were. But, there's a difference between like actually going through that mistake.
Did you remember that break we took in the summertime?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. I know. Look, it's like, put it this way, right? I see it like this. We probably been together with so many lifetime.
I know. If reincarnation exists, we've met in plenty of life.
Listen, we cannot get rid of each other. Some scary shit. Sometimes I hate it, but we cannot get rid of each other.
Yeah, you fight against me every fucking one. And you know what that means? That means in every single life, with each progressive lifetime, I have to be even more stubborn just to keep your ass.
Hey.
So if you don't like my stubbornness, you only got your past lives to blame.
I fucking love you. You know that, right?
I love you.
So yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's okay. It's fucking awesome to be able to actually marry your best friend.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if I was to give anyone any advice on relationships, it would be that. Make sure that the person you marry is your best friend.
Yeah. I mean, it might not start off that way because the trust has to be built.
And that's why you shouldn't marry, right away.
I know. We got married like, what, 4 years later?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And that's only because we were leaving the country.
Yeah. I think like us moving to Europe was like the best shit we ever done.
Yes, move away from the family so nobody can say shit.
Move away from the family, move away from like the surrounding, the familiarity.
Only ones that you can depend on.
Yeah, each other.
Yeah, the two of you are the only ones you can depend on. That will definitely test your relationship, but it will bring you closer. Because
the thing about it was like a lot of time too many people is involved in your relationship.
Yeah.
You have the girlfriends that's saying that, oh girl, you should let him talk to you that way. And then you have your boys on the other hand be like, this bitch is tripping.
Do you know that one of my criteria for having a female friend is her ability to mind her own goddamn business when it comes to my relationship? If, let's say, I'm venting, right? Because that's what we do. We go hang out with our girlfriends and we start venting. If that chick starts telling me that it's high time I leave your ass, bitch, I'm going to drop you like a turd.
And the thing about it though is like, my friends, they never actually advised none of that shit either. Like
Yeah.
the closest my cousin ever came to, he was like, bro, like so when we were leaving to England, right? He was
Yeah.
like, all right, listen, man, you know I love you, right? If you ever have some problem and shit like that, you have some emergency, you know, you want to come back, dude, just let me know,
Yeah.
right? And he just
Yeah,
left it
but
like
your
that.
cousin's also the one who fucked it up when he, in the beginning of our relationship, was like, you know, she's not your friend no more, right? She's now your girl. That's a whole completely different thing. Motherfucker, mind your own goddamn business.
Yeah, but he's like, oh look, a lot of like some of the family members I had, right? I looked up to them, right?
Yeah.
And but now it kind of feels like the roles kind of reverse. It feels like they're not looking up to me, as in like the stable one in the family. Not because like, you know, I have money and all that shit. No, you know, I'm still working class motherfucker. I'm still broke, but it's the comfort, the level of happiness to be able to be like to be comfortable within your own self.
Yeah.
And most people don't know how to do that,
Yeah.
you know. So when they come across
Most
somebody,
people don't give him the opportunity to do that.
yeah. So
You don't
when
give
they come across, so when they come across someone that's actually comfortable being them, and you
but
know,
oh, a lot of times it's your partner that gives you that confidence
yeah,
because it's like your partner accepts you for who you are, the stink, the bad, the ugly, all of it together. They accept it. And all of a sudden you have that confidence like, well, shit, who am I hiding for?
mm-hmm.
And you start doing that in public. You no longer, oh, well, I have to act this way because I'm here and I don't want them to misunderstand or I don't want them to take it the wrong way or how am I supposed to, but you know, because, you know, you're already yourself with your partner and that partner already loves you anyway. It's just like, well, fuck it. I
Yeah.
have nothing to prove.
See, it's like a lot of time people see it as in like, I don't want to do this because he's gonna look at me funny. I don't want to do that because I don't want to say this and say that. And it's like it's such a fucking prison,
Yeah.
you know, to like you if you cannot be yourself with your partner, right? The good, the bad, the ugly,
Yeah.
then it's gonna be a bit
It's
difficult,
going to
you know?
be some miserable life.
Yeah,
You can only keep that up for a short period of time.
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Hold on, I need to.
Yo, how the fuck the subject changed from dick pics to this? uh,
It's just, you know, we're all over the fucking place as we have been. But yeah,
yeah,
go on.
yeah. So I forgot what question I was gonna ask you. Right. Um, well, do you have any questions for me?
Okay, what do men think is going to happen to them when they stop fucking around? Because it seems like it's a big issue for men, especially African American men, well, black men. It's like, how dare you ask me to stop? Like, it's almost like they fear the result.
Mm, hmm. Like we have this image, right? We we have we have this image or this reputation as being the most desirable men on this planet. So, and for us,
Sexually, though. That's it. Just
yeah,
sexually.
yes, sexually. But now,
Like you guys love the stereotype so much that if you know, you feel worthless without it.
yeah. But the thing about it though, because of that stereotype, that's the reason why we actually lack standard. You know, that's the reason why. Okay, why should women actually respect us when they know that all they got to do is throw a little pussy at us and it will just fold? You
Yeah.
know? So it's like, yeah, you're gonna accept, your woman to gain like 200 pounds and shit like that, and then you not gonna actually tell her to improve to be better so we could be better together, but you would actually still keep her and still fuck the new one on the side because you're unhappy, you know? And there's like this, it's like try to fuck the stress.
That's because the big one knows how to cook better.
Yeah, the big one knows how to cook better.
With the chef.
Yeah, the big one knows how to freaking tolerate your ass more, I guess. Or there's so many there's so many variances that goes with it. But I think at the end of the day, it comes to this lack of there's this insecurity,
Yeah.
you know, this insecurity, and then it's like the past. Okay, the issues that we have with our mother remain unresolved, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to actually be mad at the person that you are told to always respect, regardless if she did right or wrong. So then because you feel emasculated by the fact that you can never stand up to your mom,
Yeah.
you kind of carry that almost throughout your whole fucking life, where no matter who's with you.
Yeah, I think your ability to I don't want to say stand up to me as much as, demand respect.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you always wanted respect, but now you demand respect. It correlates with you standing up to your mom.
Oh yeah. No, it's like, because I'll tell you what, though, like right now, my relationship with my mom, right, is not the best. But
Yeah.
I guarantee you, like, she will approach me differently now.
Yeah, but your mom's ego and stubbornness is as bad as yours.
Oh yeah, I know. I know that. And but the thing about it though is like,
Well, you got it from somebody, and
oh
I
yeah.
don't think you got it from your dad.
No, my dad's just as stubborn. My dad's the type, right? Like, let's say that if you wrong him,
Mm-hmm.
or if like he passes breaking
And
point,
I don't think he's still talk. He still isn't talking to one of your sisters, right?
nope, still doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I even try to talk to him out. I'm like, come on, dad. He's like, no, no, Mackenzie. I know what you're trying to say, but no, that's his final decision. He's gonna keep it. I'm like, God damn, this motherfucker is stubborn.
And she didn't even do anything to him. She just didn't follow his fucking words.
Yeah.
But for someone who was barely in your life, I don't think he's in that position to make that demand. Personally,
Mm-hmm. So,
then I don't know. I would never be able to do that to my child. So,
well, the thing about it though, right, is like, um, a mother's nurturing instinct will
yeah,
not allow her to do that.
yeah,
Whereas a father is, we
yeah. He's mad at her for basically the same shit that he did.
listen. A father can be more ruthless.
He can also be extremely fucking hypocritical.
Well, no, listen, right? A father can be very ruthless in one end and very self-sacrificing in another.
Yeah.
Just like, a mother like would hurt you because she's emotionally hurt, right? And then will take it out on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's still gonna love you no matter what. Like, her son could be a killer or whatever the case may be. That's still her baby.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, with my mom, right? Just because I know we don't get along, but doesn't mean that I know she doesn't. I don't. I know that she doesn't love me any less. I know she loves me, and I love her too.
That's true. Yeah.
But it's just like there's this whole conflict resolution. It's more like this, Mom. This is the way I want to be treated. If you cannot treat me with respect, then I'm gonna keep my distance.
Yeah.
I love you, but I love you from a distance.
Yeah.
And so until you're actually able to make to actually have that standard. And I think a lot of time that's where a lot of these African American male, they fail that because they have that resentment that's unresolved. and they can actually make a stand. So then it's always like, mama's always right. And then they're like so pissed off at the dad for actually leaving them in a situation to which now they had to suffer the wrath of their mother.
Yeah.
But now taking both sides into the consideration, because like there's three sides to every coin. The truth often rests at its edge.
Yeah.
That's why it needs to be resolved.
Well, it's hard to get the truth when you don't have both sides of the story.
Well, yeah, exactly. And then
that you have both sides of the story, and then you have to experience the same situation. Then you learn the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. So.
Because you never know what it feels like until you feel it on your own skin.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Oh. All right. Well, I think this is gonna be it for tonight.
For this morning, it's already 9 p.m.
Yeah, for this podcast.
That's 6 hours, babe.
I know.
Well, that plus the extensions, because it's a 3-parter.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm kind of glad that we did it in parts, though, because that would have been, a very long podcast. Though nobody got 6 hours to listen to this shit.
Hell no. All right. Well, this is our Baraka series.
It's serious.
Yes, serious.
Sorry, I'm yawning. It's late for me.
Oh, it's early for you because.
It's late for me because I haven't slept yet.
Yeah, well, it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
I was nice enough to. Yeah, I was nice enough to stay up and wait for you.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, always, baby.
All right, so, serious. She's in Poland right now.
Yeah.
So, she's funny. It was awesome, man. We spent like 3 months together. That was nice.
Yeah, that went by way too fast. Went by way too fast.
But don't worry, I'm gonna come see you on your birthday.
Yeah, so, don't make promises you're not sure to keep.
Yeah.
You don't like not being able to keep promises. So
that's true.
And you're saving money for something very important. So
yeah, for my house I'm trying to get here. So all right, well, how about this, right? Either your birthday or our anniversary.
Oh, that's just a month apart. But it would be great because we haven't spent those together in years.
I know. So we got to do that. So, but we'll make something work. So how's all right, so your tutoring's going great so far.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's building up.
It's building up. All right, good. Because at some point, yeah, I'm gonna need your help because I need you to teach me more Polish.
Okay. I'm a mean teacher. I'm not a nice teacher. I'm mean. I don't have no patience.
Well, how about this, right? Because right now you're only teaching English to Polish. You're teaching English to Polish natives, right?
Yeah.
So those who actually live abroad, let's say they live in the UK or in the United States.
They don't have to live abroad, but it's a little expensive for people who don't live abroad. So
yeah. So that's, but you, I want you to actually come up with a lesson plan for me. Like I'll be your guinea pig. So you come up with a lesson plan. You see what level I'm at when it comes.
Oh, babe, no, you're complicating things for me because I would have to come up with an entire structure, and I'm already doing that with the English. So
no,
I know you think it's fun, but I basically learned the language from scratch just so I can teach it to you from scratch because your ass is all about the facts and the rules.
No, actually, I'm switching my game around. Right now, I'm focusing more on sentences. Trying to learn Zadania.
No, Zadania is a problem.
Oh yeah, Zdania.
Yeah.
Zdania or what?
You said it right. You said it right, Zdania.
Yeah, Zdania. All right. So that's my focus now. I'm trying to learn Zdania now. But listen, that's like in the future. Get your shit sorted. You know, whatever you got to do, your lesson plans and all that stuff. I don't want to overburden you with like too much crap.
Yeah.
You know, so
I don't feel comfortable teaching Polish because Polish is a very complicated language. It has more exceptions than it has rules, and I speak Polish instinctively rather than actually, you know, I don't speak Polish because I learned Polish in school. I speak Polish because it's instinctual for me. So I can tell you a sentence, but I can't tell you why it's right.
Okay. So if somebody, if a Polish speaker wants to get a hold of you so you could actually teach them Polish better, how would they do that?
Polish speaker, so I can teach them Polish better.
Yeah,
I would say
no,
go to
so
some people who actually speak in Poland.
yeah, you can actually teach them English.
Oh, they can put in my email address down in the description box. They can contact me through there.
Okay. All right. So SyriEyes@gmail.com. All right.
No, 7@gmail.com.
Okay, SyriEyes7@gmail.com. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. All right. So
I'll write that in the description box. So contact me on Twitter. They can even send me a DM on Twitter. I get those as well, or just send email.
All right, sounds good. So that is awesome. It was nice having this conversation with you.
Yeah, it was awesome as always.
Yeah.
They'll be a regular.
I know. At least once a week.
Yeah.
All right.
They got a chance. They'll have a peek at how a husband and wife talks with each other.
Hey.
Without the bickering like an old married couple. Issues. We'll save bickering for our alone time.
Yeah, I'll bicker.
Of course you will.
Let me get out of here before I get all perverted now.
Yes, please.
All right. So, Arbanaka, Serious. And we out. So, share, like, comment, subscribe. And let me you guys know what you think. I want to hear your opinions. All right. Peace.
Yeah, and all the different topics that we covered.
Yeah. A whole bunch of shit. All right, guys.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Good night, babe.
Good night, babe.
All right. Mwah.
Mwah.